wanted to make a video to say that the one I made a couple months back saying I thought that the LSV was the best swap to go with as far as price and power. That was wrong. The Vitara Mini-Me I built not too long ago came back with some pretty impressive results. You know, I sold it to the guy and we were talking about his power goals and what he was trying to do. And I was like, yeah, the block is capable of 400, and it is. And I was kind of thinking, I was like, man, with the setup that you have though, I'm not 100% sure. If you do reach 400, you probably have to run a lot of boost. And just want to say that I was completely fucking wrong. Me and the guy both were surprised. The tuner was surprised. You know, it's the motor made incredible power with a pretty basic setup. It's a AC friendly, so it's a little shitty little log manifold and a Turbonetics turbo. But the turbo isn't very big. I think it's like maybe 30R classified, a 60 trim. The thing is that when they started rolling, started rolling the fucking engine on the dyno, and they got with a 7.5 red line at 16 pounds on this little turbo, it made 330 wheel horsepower. Now, I started thinking about it when I heard about it, and I went back and I'm thinking about my old B16 setup. My old B16 setup was kind of similar to what he has for bolt-on wise, except for I had a 35 arm, and at 12 psi I made 334. So that's pretty fucking close for a power outcome compared to a twin cam 1.6 versus a single cam. And it made me stop and rethink everything, man. I like literally put the brakes on my project before I dropped, because I finished the B20V that I was going to drop in the car, and that same night I wound up buying another set of pistons, and I had an engine d16 Y7 block on the stand that I was going to clean and do a stock overhaul, but that's not going to happen anymore. I've already started notching the block, and I cleaned it today. I'm going to do another Mini-Me, except for this time I'm going to keep it for sure, and I'm probably going to put it back in my sedan, and I might just get another shell for the B20V. You know, I'm not going to sell that motor. I definitely want to keep it, but I definitely want to try out the single cam, because the whole thing for the EG sedan was supposed to be that small turbo, quick spool up for the streets, not so much a highway monster as my previous build was. And now that I'm seeing that that is possible, I'm definitely going to go back and do the single cam again. And plus I got to think, overall the cost of a single cam to build compared to a B series is it's a fraction of the cost. You can buy a transmission for 50 bucks. You can buy a head for 50 bucks, a complete head, distributor, intake manifold, everything for like 100 bucks, compared to a Doc VTEC head that you can get bare for 250 bucks or complete for 500 bucks, and a B series transmission 500 bucks, 600 bucks. Everything is just way cheaper for the single cam, and it made the exact same power a B series would have made at the exact same pounds, of pressure from that kind of turbo. Now, here's the bad thing about that build. Now, when they were walking up the boost during the tuning at 18 psi, the fucking head gasket popped. No big surprise there. When I sold it to the guy, I told him that it's a $15 head gasket, no name brand bullshit from eBay. I didn't want to change it out because originally when I started building that motor, I was going to use it, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't mind experimenting with shit on my own personal build. So of course I let the guy know, and then he too also said the same shit, that he's like, he wasn't going to sure if he's going to go through the hassle of taking the head off and retorquing it back down and spending money on a head gasket. But the guy turned out to be pretty cool about it, because at 16 pounds of boost, he was already making 330, which is more than he's made on his previous builds. And I went out to the fucking auto parts, and I bought a new head gasket for the guy. I took it to him, and he's been pretty cool about it. I'm excited to see what it's gonna make before. I'm 100% sure that this shit's gonna make 400 horsepower, and I'm also now pretty confident that it's not gonna take shit tons of fucking boost like I previously thought. Which, I'm fucking mind blown still. Even like the tuning is Durf, and anybody who lives in South Florida knows Durf and his tuning Hondas. And even he was, asking the guy what the fucking motor had, because it was building boost and putting out power like it was high compression, and it's definitely not. Vitara's pistons are the lowest compression you can get. It's like 7.5 to 1 for a single cam, and the head is fucking stock as shit. It's just got ARP head bolts. So anyway, I don't have my personal build up and running yet, even though I have everything that I need to do it. It's just a little bit with bad timing. The weather's been really cold, and I don't do too well with cold weather, so I've been avoiding excuses to go outside. Plus, I have a lot of personal projects, or not so much personal, but I have projects for somebody that I'm going on right now. I got like 3 different engines I'm trying to build, and just got a lot of shit going on. And I decided that I'm not gonna sell or trade the fucking 4-door when it's done. That I've already spent a lot of money on the shell itself and the suspension and stuff, and I bought like the GSR's rear disc brakes for it. So I think I'm gonna keep the car long term. I'm just still debating on whether I'm gonna drop I'm probably gonna drop the single cam back into it and just buy a shell for the B20V. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I just wanted to talk about that fucking amazing Jesus fucking single cam build, stock head, Vitara pistons, cheap fucking $200 H beams, out there putting fucking work down. Anybody wants another one, hit me up. I got some drill bits now that cut through the block like it's all good. So I went from fucking 8 hours of labor to notch the block to down to an hour. So I'm definitely going to see me putting out more of these from now on. And also, honestly, I don't see myself doing stock rebuilds like ever again. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Like, I mean, somebody wants to bring me a motor for a stock overhaul, no problem. But even if I buy a block to rebuild and sell it, it's not going to be stock anymore. It's just going to be straightforward. Just that way I know that it's going to see the dyno. I know it's going to see tuning, and I can have people coming back and feedback. Because I've got too many stock engines out there running around that just nobody ever came back and had feedback on, and I want to make sure that I can keep track of everything that I'm building. So that way, if somebody ever does come and challenge my work in the future, I can point to it and be like, no, I seen how it happened, or how it went down. All right. So if anybody has any questions or on the single cam build, or is interested in doing one and wants to exact costs and prices, it's not bad at all. Like if you know anything about performance, a 400 horsepower build and it's less than $1,000, hit me up. And that's everything brand new. That's not buying anything used. That's all brand new parts, less than $1,000. Hit me up.